Fattest player in NBA history. You've probably heard of Shaq being dominant with size, but the actual heaviest NBA player ever was Oliver Miller, tipping the scales at over 375 pounds. While Miller had skill and even decent footwork, his weight constantly held him back. He struggled with conditioning, had multiple stints out of the league, and became a cautionary tale of what happens when talent meets poor fitness. It wasn't just his weight, it was his career that crumbled under it. Worst three-point percent season. Imagine being told stop shooting, but still launching bricks all year. In the 2001 season, Ronnie Brewer managed just over 10% from three, an almost impossible number for someone playing significant minutes. In today's NBA, where spacing and shooting rule, being a non-shooter isn't just a weakness, it's a liability. Brewer's season remains a cold reminder of how not every player is built for the modern game. Shortest NBA player Mugsy Bogues stood just 5'3", the shortest player in NBA history. But unlike many others on this list, he's actually a success story. While being the shortest is technically a negative record, Mugsy turned it into motivation. He played 14 seasons, had over 6,000 assists, and even blocked shots. Still, being this short made him the butt of jokes and doubters his entire career. Worst team record. The 2011-12. Charlotte Bobcats went 759 in a lockout-shortened season, giving them the worst winning percentage in league history, on 106. It wasn't just that they lost games, they got demolished. Their offense was stagnant, defense was invisible, and the roster looked more like a G League lineup. Fans didn't even bother booing, they just stopped showing up. Worst blown lead. Blowing a lead is bad. Blowing a 27-point lead in the playoffs? Devastating. That's what happened to the Los Angeles Clippers in the 2023 playoffs against the Memphis Grizzlies. They were up big, cruising, and then everything collapsed. Momentum flipped, shots stopped falling, and the opposing bench looked like starters. It became a meme overnight and still haunts Clipper fans. Most trades in a career. Trevor Ariza was traded 11 times, the most in NBA history. While he was a serviceable 3-and-D guy, he never stayed anywhere long enough to become part of a core. Some players chase rings, others just chase housing. Being traded this often means GMSC value, but never commitment. Most championship losses. LeBron James has lost 6 NBA Finals. Now some argue it's because he made it so often. True, but 6 losses also meant 6 times climbing the mountain, only to fall short at the top. For someone of his greatness, that number lingers, especially compared to players like Jordan, 6-0. It's not a knock on LeBron's legacy, but it is a scar on the resume. Worst career win percentage. You'd never want your career defined by losses, but Sidney Green has a career win percentage of just .231, one of the lowest in NBA history. Over his 10-year career, he rarely saw the postseason. Being part of rebuilding teams or tanking squads drags this number down, but it doesn't soften the sting. Longest losing streak. The Cleveland Cavaliers lost 26 games in a row during the 2010-11 season, just months after LeBron James left. It wasn't just a losing streak, it was a complete organizational collapse. Players gave up, fans booed, and the front office looked clueless. The post-LeBron hangover hit hard. Slowest player in NBA history. While there's no official stat for speed, many consider Gheorghe Muresan, at 7'7", to be the slowest NBA player ever. His movement was robotic, lateral quickness non-existent. In today's pace and space game, he wouldn't survive a minute on the court. Being slow isn't just about foot speed, it's about how fast the game moves around you. Most turnovers. When you think of greatness, you don't usually think of turnovers, but LeBron James holds the record for the most turnovers in NBA history. That's not necessarily a knock. It's a product of his longevity and having the ball in his hands all the time. Still, over 5,000 giveaways is a wild number. It shows that even legends make mistakes, just more often than anyone else ever. Missed dunks. You wouldn't expect to see Shaquille O'Neal here, but guess what? Dwight Howard actually leads the NBA in most missed dunks. Known for his high-flying, rim-rocking style, Howard attempted so many dunks that the misses piled up too. But to be fair, it's kind of like saying a lion missed a few pounces. He still feasted. Missed free throws in a game. The record for most missed free throws in a game belongs to Wilt Chamberlain, with 22 missed shots from the line in a single night. It's almost poetic. The man who scored 100 points in a game could have had even more, if not for his nightmare at the stripe. Wilt dominated everywhere, just not 15 feet from the basket. Worst plus-minus in a game, the worst plus-minus ever recorded in a single game. Manny Harris, who finished at -57. That means while he was on the floor, his team was outscored by 57 points. It's not all on him. Those Cavaliers were getting cooked. But when your stat line looks like a math test gone wrong, it's gonna follow you. Fastest ejection. Imagine checking into a game and being thrown out before breaking a sweat. Bubba Wells was ejected after just 3 minutes for fouling Dennis Rodman 6 times on purpose. It was a coaching strategy. Hack Rodman, who was a poor free throw shooter. The plan failed, Rodman made the shots, and Wells became a trivia answer. Fewest threes in a game, team. In today's NBA, the three-point shot is king. Teams average 30 to 40 attempts a night. But in 2012, the Lakers rewound the clock to a different era. They attempted just 2 threes and made 0. That's the fewest attempts and makes in a single game during the shot clock era. It wasn't 1985. It wasn't a tanking team. This was Kobe's Lakers, refusing to shoot from deep. Watching that game felt like watching a team try to win with half the playbook. Needless to say, that strategy is extinct in today's NBA. Most misses in a game. Kobe Bryant, one of the fiercest scorers in league history, also has one of the coldest nights ever. In 2014, he missed 28 shots in a single game. That's the most in NBA history. It happened late in his career, when his body couldn't keep up with his will. But even on off nights, Kobe kept shooting. He wasn't wired to stop. To him, every shot was one closer to catching fire. That game is remembered as a statistical low, but it also showed his relentless belief in himself. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and Kobe wasn't about to miss one more by not trying. Most technical fouls in a season. Rasheed Wallace holds a record that may never fall, 41 technical fouls in one season. That's basically one every other game. It wasn't just a hot temper, it was a lifestyle. Rasheed talked trash, argued with refs, and got tossed like it was part of the game plan. But behind all the chaos was an incredibly talented big man. He could shoot, defend, and dominate the post. The only thing louder than his game was his mouth. And in 2001, the refs had heard enough. 41 times. Worst coaching record. Sidney Lowe may have had the clipboard, but the results never followed. With a .257 winning percentage, he owns the worst coaching record in NBA history for anyone with 100+ games. He coached in Minnesota and Memphis, but the losses followed him like a shadow. Maybe it was bad rosters, maybe bad luck, but the wins never came. Sometimes being a good player or assistant coach doesn't translate to the big chair. Lowe had the vision, but the scoreboard didn't see it that way. Shortest NBA career, time played, James Curry holds a record that's both heartbreaking and hilarious. The shortest NBA career ever, 3.9 seconds. He checked in, the buzzer sounded, and that was it. No shots, no rebounds, not even a foul, just a cameo. But think about it, he made it to the league. Millions try, but only a few touch that hardwood. His name is in the record books. Not for what he did, but for how briefly he did it. Most fouls, career Daryl Dawkins, aka Chocolate Thunder, was a walking highlight reel. Explosive dunks, shattered backboards, and a lot of fouls. He fouled out of 386 games, the most in NBA history. Dawkins didn't just play with physicality, he lived in it. He bullied opponents in the paint, and referees were constantly reining him in. But even when he fouled out, he made sure the fans got a show. He didn't play careful basketball, he played his way. Longest suspension. In 2004, a single moment changed the NBA forever. The malice at the Palace. When Ron Artest stormed into the stands and fought fans, the league responded with the harshest suspension in its history. 86 games. Artest, now Meta Sandiford Artest, missed the rest of the season. That night led to massive changes in NBA security, fan interaction rules, and player discipline. It wasn't just a fight, it was a breaking point. An artist paid the price. Most playoff losses. Player LeBron James has more playoff losses than any player in NBA history, 90+ and counting. Sounds bad, right? But here's the twist. It's a sign of greatness. You can't lose that many games in the playoffs unless you're always in the playoffs. LeBron has played more postseason games than entire franchises. Losses hurt, but the deep runs, year after year, tell the real story. He didn't just get to the dance, he practically lived there. Most turnovers in a game. James Harden once had a night he'd love to forget. 12 turnovers in a single game, the most ever. The Beard is known for high usage, but that game was chaos. Lazy passes, stripped drives, miscommunications, it all fell apart. Harden was trying to do too much, and the defense feasted. That game was a reminder. When you're the focal point, the spotlight can burn both ways. Worst plus minus in a game. In one of the ugliest stats ever recorded, Manny Harris was a -57 in a single game. That means while he was on the court, his team was outscored by 57 points. It wasn't all his fault. His team got run off the floor. But still, that number sticks out. It's the kind of stat that lives forever in trivia nights and bad memories. Playoff drought. For 16 straight seasons, the Sacramento Kings missed the playoffs. That's longer than some fans' entire childhoods. From 2006 to 2022, the Kings were trapped in NBA purgatory, coaching changes, draft busts, and heartbreaks. But in 2023, they finally broke through. A new coach, a young core, and a beam of hope. For the longest time, their motto might as well have been, maybe next year. Now, they've finally arrived. Worst FG percent Team season. The 2012 Charlotte Bobcats put on a masterclass in missing shots. They shot just 29.3% from the field over the season, the worst team shooting percentage ever. Every game felt like a bricklaying clinic, and to make it worse, that was during a lockout-shortened season, so fans didn't even get a full 82 games to suffer through. It was so bad, the franchise rebranded back to the Hornets, because no one wanted to remember the Bobcats. Halftime collapse. The Clippers once led by 30 points at halftime and lost. One of the biggest meltdowns in NBA history. They looked dominant, confident, even arrogant. But then the second half happened. Missed shots, lazy defense, and their opponent caught fire. By the end, the crowd was stunned. It was a harsh reminder. No lead is safe in the NBA, not even 30 points. Lowest team score. In 1999, the Chicago Bulls scored just 49 points in an entire game. That's the lowest point total of the shot clock era. No Jordan, no Pippen, just pain. They couldn't buy a bucket. The scoreboard was embarrassed to keep updating. And fans, they didn't stick around to watch history. They left early to beat traffic. Fewest points in a quarter. The Dallas Mavericks once scored just 2 points in a quarter. Yes, 2. It wasn't a typo. One made basket in 12 minutes. The offense completely vanished. It was like the hoop had a lid on it. Layups clanked, jumpers bricked, and even free throws missed. It's the kind of stat that doesn't make sense until you watch the tape. Fastest ejection, Bubba Wells fouled out in 3 minutes. The fastest in NBA history. But here's the kicker. It was intentional. The coach used Wells to hack Dennis Rodman, hoping to exploit his poor free throw shooting. The plan? Burn through fouls, get Rodman to the line. The result? Wells became a trivia legend. Rodman hit his shots. And the strategy? Total fail. Most games missed, injury. Greg Oden was supposed to be the next great big man, the #1 pick, a generational talent. But injuries robbed him of everything. He missed over 250 games early in his career. Knees, surgeries, setbacks, it never stopped. He showed flashes, but never got a full season to prove himself. His story is a painful reminder. Talent means nothing without health. 0 assists in a half. In 2016, the Milwaukee Bucks played an entire second half without recording a single assist. Not one. No ball movement, no chemistry, no hope. It was iso ball taken to its final form. Every possession looked like a bad pickup game. One pass, one dribble, one brick. That half was chaos, confusion, and everything basketball shouldn't be. Most team turnovers in a game. The Nuggets once committed 33 turnovers in a single game. That's almost a turnover every possession. It wasn't basketball. It was hot potato with a shot clock. Passes flew into the stands, dribbles got picked clean, and the scoreboard turned into a comedy reel. You could feel the coach aging on the sideline with every miscue. Most missed layups. Russell Westbrook is electric, fast, powerful, explosive, but he's also racked up more missed layups than anyone else in the past decade. Sometimes he goes so fast the rim doesn't have time to get ready. He'll blow past defenders, only to clang it off the glass. It's frustrating, unpredictable, but that's Russ. All gas, no brakes, even when it's a wide open layup. Worst finals record? Player. Elgin Baylor went to the finals 8 times and lost all 8. 0-8. One of the greatest players ever, an all-time scorer, athletic marvel, but the ring never came. He played in the wrong era at the wrong time. He carried teams, broke records, and kept coming up short. His finals record is brutal, but his legacy, untouchable. 3-1 series lead blown. In 2016, the Warriors had it all. A Hetvan Harem record, a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals, and then collapse. They lost 3 straight games to LeBron James and the Cavs. The unanimous MVP, the record-setting season, all undone. It became the ultimate NBA meme, 3-1, a reminder that greatness isn't guaranteed. Sometimes history flips fast. Most misses, all-time Kobe Bryant missed more shots than anyone in NBA history, over 14,000. But here's the twist. He's also top 5 in all-time scoring. To be great, you've got to keep shooting. And Kobe, he never flinched. The misses are part of the story, but so are the makes. And nobody made more big shots with bigger stakes than the Black Mamba. Most losses, player. Vince Carter lost over 800 games, the most by any player. But that stat is deceiving. Vince didn't lose because he was bad. He lost because he played forever. 22 seasons, 4 decades. From the dunk contest to mentoring rookies, Vince saw it all. He took a lot of L's, but stuck around long enough to turn into a legend. Most times fouled out in a season playing physical as part of basketball, but there's a line. And in the 1995-96 season, Shawn Kemp tiptoed right over it, 17 times. That's the most disqualifications in a single season. Kemp was an explosive force, a rim rattler who played every possession like it was Game 7. But that intensity came with a cost. Fouls stacked up, and so did early exits. For all his talent, Kemp struggled to control the chaos, and refs were quick with the whistle. It didn't stop him from being an all-star, but it made his season look like a highlight reel, followed by a seat on the bench. Worst free throw percentage in a season. Ben Wallace was a monster on defense, a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, a rebounding machine, a paint enforcer, but at the free throw line, a total liability. In the 2001 season, he shot a jaw-dropping 31.2% from the stripe. That's not just bad, it's historically awful. Defenders were scared to challenge him at the rim, unless he had the ball and there was a chance to send him to the line. Then they practically begged to foul him. It got so bad, teams adopted the hack-a-bend strategy, treating free throws like turnovers. Wallace could lock down anyone on defense, but couldn't lock in from 15 feet. Worst free throw percentage in a season. Imagine watching your favorite team miss more than a third of their free throws, every game. That was reality in the 2011-12 season for the Orlando Magic, who collectively shot just 62.9% from the line, the worst team free throw percentage ever recorded. It wasn't just one player, it was the entire roster putting up bricks from the charity stripe. Dwight Howard led the way with dominant play and consistent misses. Opponents exploited it, fans dreaded it, and coaches had no answers. It was the one time getting fouled felt like a bad thing. Free throws should be the easiest points in the game, but for the 2012 Magic, it was their Achilles heel. Worst shooting night. Going cold happens, but going 0 for 17, that's nightmare fuel. Tim Hardaway holds the record for the worst shooting night with the most attempts without a make. No matter what he did, floaters, jumpers, layups, nothing dropped. It was like the rim had a force field. Shooters are taught to keep firing, but after shot 10, even fans started questioning reality. It was one of those nights where the stat sheet looked like a prank. For a player of his caliber, it was a total fluke, but one that's frozen in NBA infamy. Worst start to a season, 0 to 18. In the 2009-10 season, the New Jersey Nets started with a record of 0 to 18, the worst start in NBA history. Every game looked winnable until tip-off. It wasn't just bad luck, it was a broken roster, a lack of chemistry, and zero identity. They eventually got a win, but the damage was done. That stretch crushed morale, killed attendance, and turned the franchise into a punchline. It was rock bottom, and the only way out was a complete rebuild. Today, they're known as the Brooklyn Nets, but that start still haunts New Jersey basketball lore. Most assists without scoring a point. Norm Van Lier, 1971. Imagine dropping dimes all night and not scoring a single bucket. In 1971, Norm Van Lier had 13 assists and 0 points, the most assists in NBA history in a game without scoring. It's the definition of being a floor general. He ran the offense, created shots for everyone, except himself. True unselfishness or just a cold shooting night? Either way, it's a record. Most games without a three-point attempt. Charles Oakley, 1,282 games. In today's NBA, even centers launch from deep, but Charles Oakley, despite playing 1,282 games, never attempted a single three in the regular season. 0. He was old school to the core. Mid-range, rebounds, and pure toughness. He didn't stretch the floor. He owned the paint. This stat is impossible in the modern game, and that's what makes it legendary. Most blocks in a single quarter. Elmore Smith, 7 blocks. Most players are lucky to get 2 blocks in a game. In just one quarter, Elmore Smith racked up 7 blocks, a ridiculous feat that still stands today. It was like having a brick wall under the rim. Players went up for shots and came down with regret. That quarter was pure dominance, and the rim was on lockdown. Most over-the-back violations. Dennis Rodman rebounds are war, and Dennis Rodman was the general. But with that aggression came consequences. He holds the unofficial record for most over-the-back fouls in NBA history. It's not tracked officially in the box score, but analysts agree. Nobody climbed over backs more than Rodman. He turned rebounding into an art and refs into enemies. Most ejections in a career. Rasheed Wallace, 29 times. You thought 41 technicals in a season was bad? Rasheed Wallace took it further. He was ejected 29 times in his NBA career, the most ever. Refs didn't just have their whistles ready, they had their eyes locked on him. Whether it was yelling, taunting, or just Rasheed being Rasheed, he made exits as dramatic as entrances. He played hard, but never quietly.